Hello there, my name is Tristan Piers, owner of an online rare plant shop called Tristanical. Check it out when you're done with this video. Today, we will be talking about variegated philodendron. Obviously, you can tell there's a trend with the videos I've been making lately. I've been talking about rare ones and then variegated ones. Honestly, to broaden your horizons, because there are so many varieties of plants out there that a lot of us don't know about until we watch a video like this. So that is the service I am providing you today. Buckle up, we're going through 10 variegated philodendron. Now, let's start with the first one, which is the Gloriosum Variegated. Most everyone knows what a Gloriosum is, but they come variegated now. So I think to give you an example, maybe I should just grab my regular one so you can kind of understand how they grow while you're looking at this picture of one. I don't know if that's helpful at all. Okay, so that posed to be more effort than it's probably worth, but here is a Gloriosum here. You can tell they are a crawling variety. I don't know if you can really tell, but the pot's all crinkled here because this growth is just pushing out the side of the pot. Obviously, this is the leaf it was imported with. But as you can see with these, very beautiful, large foliage, and they are crawlers, so it's just gonna continue to creep. Eventually, it'll have to be put in a bigger pot, probably like an elongated one, but this still gives you a good idea on like what they look like, what their growth habits are. And then on top of that, you can have, how do I hide this? A variegated one. I just got dirt everywhere. Okay, bad plan, bad plan. Now the next one is called the Yellow Flame. So as you can see from the photo, I'm actually gonna look at the photo while I'm talking, just so I don't mess anything up. This one I think is gonna grow very similar to like a Prince of Orange, if you know what those are. I have one. They are kind of a climber. They're a climber eventually, I think, but they grow very compact. So I've had mine for a couple years and it's probably only this tall because it doesn't really like the space in between the nodes. This is what I'm trying to say, is very small. So it almost grows more like bush-like, bird's nesty. Hopefully that makes sense. It's just not gonna get very tall in a hurry. So it's honestly a great choice for people that aren't trying to get something that will end up getting like this in a very short amount of time, because it honestly just depends on what kind of space that you have. Now, the reason why I was drawn to this one to talk about it today is because the red is so red. It looks like it's drawn blood, and I'm sure that fades down after the new leaf matures. Marvelous looking thing. Never seen one for sale, so I don't really know that much about them other than that. Third on the list is the Joepii Variegated. Now, this one is an acquired taste. Okay, so I've had a Mexicanum before. There's like a little family of philodendron that all grow very similar, where they're just like very elongated. Sometimes they have really tall lobes on them, or in the Joepii, it's just like very rounded off, like little like Mickey Mouse ears on the top, and then it gets very slender, kind of looks rather phallic. But the variegated version of this I think is very pretty. Now, I don't know if this is stable or not. I haven't really gotten clarity on that, so it's really up to you if you want to spend the money on it and kind of figure out how stable it is. And obviously, if it starts to revert or turn all white, you can obviously propagate it out and then regrow it from the nodes and hope that it ends up being more stable. So these are obviously a climbing philodendron. They can get kind of vigorous with their growth habits. I don't have an example sitting next to me, but the space in between the nodes and some of these, especially I think this one as well, can be very long. So it's going to want to reach a pretty good height pretty quickly. So just be prepared for that. Probably get it on a moss pole when it's very young. Try to get the roots to grow into the pole. That'll probably help it size up and grow into more of like a beautiful and magnificent plant. Okay, this next one is one that I have on a personal wish list that I think I'll probably just make a wish list video. I like watching them because it kind of gives me more ideas if I don't have that many, so I don't know if you'd be interested in seeing that. Anyway, Philodendron Whipple Way. This is like a strawberry milkshake with sprinkles on a leaf. It's one of those where I'm like looking at the picture right now and I'm like, I don't think I've seen any other plant that resembles this type of coloration in with the variegation. Like almost every leaf is like a slightly different hue of like a green, a pink, a yellow, like a minty kind of color. And I just think it's very beautiful. Okay, they're really hot on the market right now. I remember looking at a plant forum a few years ago and people were talking about it because I think it was created by a couple somewhere in the United States, and they've been like slowly releasing them, and now they're starting to spread around the market in the world. It's just still at a point right now though where it's very expensive and it's kind of out of my price point unless someone wants to buy it for me. But this is definitely a good wish list option for you because it is for me. So if I win the lottery, I'm buying one of these. I left my heater on full blast and I'm too lazy to get up and turn it off because I have like this whole mic setup connected to my phone and I don't know, I'm just afraid. Anyway, this next one is definitely not stable variegation. This is the Golden Dragon Variegated. Regardless if it's a variegated version or not, Golden Dragon is beautiful because of all the ridging on the leaves. I think it's just like very unique and it's come out to be like very, I don't know, it's just very symmetrical, beautiful, and it just plays itself out very well in this specific case. I definitely like the Golden Dragon more than like the Joepii because I would rather have like a wider leaf on a plant, so there's just like more oomph. Is that the word? Some oomph? How do you even say that? Oh my god, I promise I speak English. So this is one of the ones where, okay, so if you know it's not stable, it's kind of up to you if you want to try to get one and maintain stable variegation, which involves a lot of propagating, cutting back, just kind of playing it by ear to make sure that you have like the most stable case possible. And then from there, I mean, it's fine. It would be a good project for you to have. I would definitely be interested in having one because I'm not really personally concerned about variegation just vanishing because you can always cut them back and try again from a new node. But then again, I don't know, I might have too much trust in nature. Okay, this next one is one that most people probably already know about, but might not know that there is a variegated variety on the market, and that is the Squamiferum Variegated. Now, the one that I'm showing you in the photo is a juvenile form of the leaf. I own a Squamiferum that I have since chopped up and propagated, so I don't really have a good example for you, but I will say, what should I say? Okay, up at the top, I'm trying to figure out like, okay, so it's shaped like this with this little bump right here before it does the bottom part. So those get more pointed as it matures, and then the tip of the leaf gets a lot more like triangulated. Is that the word for that? As it grows. So it's definitely one that you kind of want to not cut back as much if you want to get like reap the full benefit of what the leaf can look like. Now, this is another one where I don't know if it's stable or not. Honestly, I wouldn't really care with this one depending on the price, because even if I got a leaf that had like a little speck of variegation on it, I would probably still really enjoy having it, just because I love philodendrons that have the fur on the petiole. I think it's really cool. I have I don't remember what it's called, Squamacule, that has it on the stem as well, and that's kind of a little bit overwhelming. It kind of just looks like a caterpillar with leaves, but you know, if you're into like a little razzle dazzle on your plant, having something with like fur on the petiole is definitely kind of fun. All right, 7 on the list is one that I have never heard of until I saw that there was a variegated AF version of it, which, okay, let's just start with the plant. It is called the Philodendron oxypopens. I even went on Google Translate and was like, okay, how do you say this in Latin? And it's like oxypopens, and I'm like, okay, cool. Anyway, so this is a variegated version of that plant, but if you see anything that says like AFF, it means that it might not be that exact plant, but there's no confirmed variety in the books. so to speak. I hope that makes sense. What am I trying to say? It can resemble the plant so much, but it's possible that it's not that actual plant. So an example could have been, oh, actually this is a good example. Before people maybe realized that Gloriosum and Ploumanii were different plants, you can tell they're different when you look at them side by side, but they're so similar. To the untrained eye, it's just the same plant. So I think that's what this is. It's resembling an oxypoppins, and it is not proven to be one. Regardless, the variegation is really cool because it looks like it comes in that lime green and then the yellowy kind of color, really similar to number 10 on this list that I'm going to be talking about. So I think I can see one in the background of this picture that I'm looking at, and it looks like, let me zoom in, it looks like that leaf is like almost entirely yellow. So I'm assuming that it could be unstable, but I'm getting to a point now where I'm like, just let me know, is it unstable or not? Do we care? I don't know. You should tell me if you care, because part of the time I don't. I'm just like here for the game. So I don't know. Here is one. This has been everywhere in my life, and I don't really fully understand why. So this is the Gloriosum hybridized with Maximum. So I've had this picture saved on my phone for a month because I've been wanting to make this video, and I've just been trying to look for the right plants that I wanted to talk about in one video. And then I saw a YouTube video of someone else talking about this, and I was like, okay, all right, so we are all becoming aware of this plant. Now, the one that that person talked about didn't have all this like yellow variegation in it that you can see in this one. It resembled more of like a Monstera Thai constellation. But what I have learned, I love that I'm holding my hand like this. What I have learned is that this just naturally had variegation when it was hybridized, which should 100% mean, hopefully, fingers crossed, that it's completely stable. So an example of that would be the Thai constellation, because it's naturally occurring variegation, whereas something like the Monstera Borgigiano, Borgigiano? I can't think of it without looking at the word. The like variegated Monsteras that you see on the market, the small form Monsteras, those are a product of tissue culture, where it's just like forced mutation of the genes. That's how you end up with unstable variegation. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think this is unstable because it naturally occurred after the two plants were hybridized. One of the seeds sprouted and had the variegation. That's good news. Bad news is this is like a unicorn plant, probably you could consider. I don't know how you're actually going to find one and get a good deal out of it, I should say. I don't know. It's one of the ones where like I'm probably going to wait like 5 years before I get one, because my finances just simply do not allow for me to just drop a gold brick on a plant. Okay, 9th on the list is extremely beautiful variegation. So this is the Mamel Variegated. Mamel is a crawling philodendron. You know I'm into crawling philodendrons right now. It's a thing. It's happening. I'm here for it. Hope you are too. I'm selling Ploumanii on my shop, by the way, in case you were interested in crawling philodendron. Anyway, oh, and Gloriosum. I'm selling these. This one right here is for sale. So if you want this, if you think she looked cute, if you think she looked like a material girl for your house, buy it. They're on sale right now, which is very exciting. Okay, anyway, Mamel Variegated. This one is like, I don't know. It's just like very camouflaged, and I'm really into this one. I'm sure you probably agree with me that this is a very good scenario for variegation. It looks a lot like how the variegation shows on like Syngonium albo, and I'm here for it. That's all I'm gonna say about this one. I've wanted a Mamel anyway, but this Mamel Variegated, I'm like, ooh, like someone can propose to me. I would 90-day fiance them if they just like handed me one of these. Final one. Oh, the sun's starting to hit my neck and I just realized it. I gotta sit back. The final one is the one that the oxypoppins has similar variegation to, in my opinion. So this is the Florida Beauty. We all know Florida Ghost. I'm selling some on my shop. They look really good, by the way. My grow room situation is so perfect for the Florida Ghost because my leaves are coming out almost pure white. Obviously there's a yellow hue to them, but they're looking fresh. if you're interested. Anyway, so Florida Beauty, I'm not always into yellow, but it works out in this one just because of the way that it's camouflaged through the leaf. I just think it's a really good option for you if you're interested in something that has more pizzazz than a Florida Ghost, because Florida Ghost leaves fade down to a normal green and then they put out a new one and you're like, woo, and then it fades down and then, you know, that cycle. This is constant, so definitely something to keep in mind. So my camera battery is flashing that it's dying, and that was already the 10th one. So I'm gonna say one thing before I go. The Alocasia Guinea Gold Pink that I talked about in the variegated alocasia video is actually called the Alocasia Serendipity Alocasia. If you were interested in knowing that, I'm happy I figured that out. It was a real debate. Still don't think it's worth what they were selling it. So if you're interested in variegated alocasia, watch that video. Click it here. I'm going to let you go. So thank you for watching this video. So before I go, I would love to have video recommendations from you. Just trying to understand what you're looking for, what's missing in your life. So my camera died, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, learned something new. I know there are so many variegated philodendron out there on the market. So this was just 10. So if you want to see more, I'm sure I could do a couple of these and still have more to cover after that. Just let me know. Let me know what you're into. I don't know why I'm holding this like this. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Also, do you like my Tristanical merch shirt? It's like too far to one side on my chest, but I like it. I think it's cute. Okay, bye. Have a good day.